So I just seen this about a week ago with Adam Voigt talking about the 1.0 preview to Dead Grid, and pretty soon we're going to be hitting 2026 around the corner in about a couple of days. I wanted to make this video mostly talking about Dead Grid's 1.0 release, but also about what's going to be happening in 2026 for my channel in terms of streaming, what's been going on, why I haven't been getting on so much, and a bunch of other things as well. The main reason why is because I've been working a job and having to do a sleep schedule to get on after I'm done working, or if I don't have family stuff or whatever. And I want to do more videos better. I want to make it more streamlined. I even want to do scripts. Now, a lot of people are like, you don't do scripts when you make a video? No, actually, I don't. What I do instead is I take index bullet points of like the most prominent type of ideas or big changes or even like big mechanical additions and changes to a game and talk about them whenever it goes through development. Like with Dead Grid, it was like different things with the mercenaries, the items and weapons and the crafting. Then they did Sulfur stuff with they did the Shabwa update. Then they even showed the Endless mode and the Witch final boss, stuff like that. And now with Dead Grid coming into 1.0 next year in 2026, which is January 8th, 2026, from what Adam Voigt was saying, that he wanted to spend time with his family before he decided to put the game out, which I'm definitely waiting for. In terms of new additions to the game, they talk about region campaign, new mission locations like hospital, research facility, prison, radio tower, and military base. Another mechanic that was added with this one is called Glory, which is a new score mechanic. For example, if you get a multi-kill from Hudson using Sashimi, or Mort does multiple attacks that are adjacent to the enemy that you're attacking, like he'll hit 3 people at once, there'll be new ones like Perfection, Buck Wild, Juggernaut, and Slice and Dice. Perfection is deal a melee killing blow with damage matching the target's remaining HP. Buck Wild is eliminate 3 adjacent enemies with buckshot in a single encounter. Slice and Dice, cripple the same enemy 3 times, limit 1 per turn. And Juggernaut, blocks 5+ attacks in a single turn, limit per 1 encounter. And those are just a couple of the 50 that will be added when 1.0 is released. Adam Voigt also talks about reworked enemy threat on region locations. Enemy scaling on mission repeats have been reworked to increase based on silent or loud runs. Various region modifiers can spawn to help you reduce the threat. Previous system of reducing the threat by completing nearby missions has been phased out. So that's also another thing I kind of liked, because when it comes down to Dead Grid itself, the entire idea of different runs is to get more supply or higher grade weapons and armor, as well as some new supplies of electrical tape, Swiss Army knives for repairing, and different types of food. The entire objective of this game is for you to take your mercenary band, including your Revenant, and go out there and find stuff without dying as best as you can. And that's from using melee weapons to be quiet, or loud weapons to just go in and guns blazing. Or if you want to have some silent weapons, then you won't produce a bunch of noise. It will be on the top side of the screen. Then you have, of course, the Era Horn that will allow you to bring zombies out more, so it bring more into the initiative order. And if you don't have any more of that, then you just end the turn and it starts a brand new one. They also talk about region modifiers, added 12 new region modifiers to reduce enemy threat of region locations, and added 3 new region modifiers tied to specific survivor, such as Dead Silence and Echoing Gunfire. Then they talk about survivor support. The survivor assistance mechanic has been drastically reworked and new progression in the UI. Intel points spent on survivors are no longer tied to a single location. Instead, their support improves at all locations while they offer assistance. More than 5 points to intel can now be spent on many survivors. And they have like different ones like Armor, Shepherd, Scout. And I know if you talk to the Hobo Sniper, which he'll be in Overwatch and does a specific amount of damage per zombie, he's also there if you want to have him be up for Overwatch if you need the backup. Or they'll send like a mercenary that has a machine gun and machete. Then they talk about armory upgrade points. Dropped armory point cards are no longer drawn into your hand during combat. These points are now collected and consolidated as a reward section on the loot hall screen. The change intends to reduce card clutter in the hand during combat. The drop rate of points has been rebalanced and new gadgets can improve the chance. A couple extra additions that will be added in the 1.0 release. Location loot level bonus. Each location now offers a bonus to the loot level of weapons found during a mission run. Harder missions offer a higher bonus. They also talk about new special weapon modifiers. Many non-unique weapons can now contain new modifiers granting additional tactical benefits. These effects are similar to unique weapons, but improved with weapon color upgrades. They are listed as special modifiers in details. Weapons containing these modifiers can have a custom card frame top left corner. Then the patch notes talk about new weapons, 8 new submachine guns with loud and silenced variants, 5 new assault rifles, 5 new sniper rifles, 2 new sharp weapons, and the newly added weapons come with custom art and models, like they have one called Delta Spec, Mark 556, and a Lancer 308. Card 4, Susie, which is basically an Uzi, Vic 762, which looks like an FAL, the Ratline, Smooth Criminal, and Cold Eye. And those are just a couple of new things from this update coming up in January 8th of 2026. And I'm going to put the whole patch notes of everything that's going to be talked about in the 1.0 for the description down below the video. But essentially what's going to be happening is this. As I stated in the beginning of the video, that I have not been streaming barely at all on Twitch or YouTube. I get on every once in a while. And the main reason why, like I said, was because of work. I've been working a bunch, and sleep is a must for me. I have to have sleep. Otherwise, I can't really function as a human being. And I've also had to do some stuff with family and get everything together for like doing gatherings or having to deal with some emergencies and so on. But now that everything's kind of slowing down and we're getting into 2026, there's a lot of stuff that I've been able to plan for that I never was able to do beforehand. For example, I'm coming back to streaming more. I definitely want to do that on YouTube and Twitch, kind of like do the whole restream thing more, and I want to do all the games that I bought, including all the card games I got, with the newest one being Death Howl, and then maybe even playing Nights in Tight Spaces, Cubic Cosmo, go back and play Cross Blitz, and some other games on top of that too. Like I said, I'm not just a card game connoisseur to where I like playing card games all the time. I also like playing early access games that are in development and then going through that before it hits 1.0 and even afterwards if I stick around. Like the biggest ones for me that I've been loving a lot besides playing like Escape from Duck Off and playing Sulfur, getting ready for 1.0 for that. Quasimorph's early access stuff too before it hits 1.0, including the biggest changes like adding percentage chance for range on hit or adding new additions with the Magnum. Like I cannot wait to see what more stuff they do for Quasimorph. But I want to go and do more streaming for those specific games like how I used to. I've been on Twitch for about 12 years and 17 plus for about YouTube. So I mean, I've been wanting to do a bunch of changes as times progress, and so I can make it more fun for myself and not get burnout like I did for this year when it came down to streaming. The other thing is that people should be reminded that the internet is not only a place of like decent folk, but it's also the masses of assholes that you'll have to deal with critique, and just people that think that if they have a name or a VPN or whatever, they can go into your channel and send death threats to you or call you a piece of shit. And you'd be surprised how much that actually happens because people think it's funny that I won't actually report them, but I do all the time. Like when they went on my Twitch.tv channel when I was playing Hunt Showdown one time, and they reported my name One Nut Punch for being a sexual innuendo and against terms of service. So they removed it from the website for 6 months, and I was able to gain it back again. And those people were banned for being a, piece of shit. But they did it to other people, so I'm not the only one. In short, there's a lot of things that happened on Twitch that annoyed the hell out of me. I met people that I thought were cool. There are people that I thought that were going to be making a decent community and I could join, and it never really worked out that way. So I did a lot of changing and a lot of different things to where sometimes if I do a collaboration, it has to be a thorough job to find out who they are and what they do. Or if like I do a video with somebody, I have to like know them, in which I do know a lot of people from the old card game days of Infinity Wars and Ulteal Horizons, as well as another one called Nightbanes, which used to be of the Dooku, the Dark Universe, like vampires, Frankenstein, and it was a card game format. But what I'm going to be doing for 2026 is that I'm going to try scripts, write one down for each game I do, play them more. I probably won't do a video a week like I said I was going to, like I did in 2025, that will probably change to maybe a video, maybe two every 2 weeks, so that I have more time to like mess with it, and to stop all the haters from getting all pissed off and angry that when I talk about their favorite game and I give them the facts of this is what happened to me in my playthrough, that they don't send me a bunch of threats saying you're an asshole for ruining this developer, blah blah blah, all that shit. So that's a couple of reasons why I want to do that. The streaming thing, on the other hand, in terms of what game will be streamed, early access variety will happen a lot. I'll probably be buying games from early access that comes out more, especially ones that I'm interested in, from card games, strategy games, or even first-person shooters, such as the boomer shooter crowd, because Sulfur has been basically most of my time, if not some other games like Painted in Blood and Sulaco, still waiting for Chapter 2, though I do know Cultic is Chapter 2 now, but I haven't messed with that yet. I do want to go and play more MMORPGs, maybe even revisit Elder Scrolls Online. I'm not really sure, but in terms of the time for that, I'm going to stick with either 11 a.m. CST or 12 p.m. CST will be the times I get on for streaming. And I'm going to probably switch between Twitch and YouTube a couple of times, but I definitely want to do restreams for both. The thing is that I'm tinkering around with OBS Studios, and that's the main encoder that I use for Restream or when I did just Twitch alone. I haven't really used the other ones. I didn't really care much for XSplit, and Streamlabs was not that great because it kept cutting out, and you didn't even know until you checked on your dashboard that you were completely offline. But those are just a couple of things as to why I use OBS Studios. And for 2026, I definitely have some stuff planned that I can't wait to like get on and mess around with, have more time to play games, and even talk about some of the newer stuff that's happening with all the other games in early access. But that being said, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been the year 2025. It's been pretty decent, but then again, I've also had a lot of time off and basically thinking about what I want to do next for games, streams, and videos. But I'll see y'all later in the next one, and have fun, play games, and I'll see you guys in 2026.